So my turn. So welcome everybody again to our to our video blog of the preparation of the conference and our kind of documenting the activities that are associated with it. Today we have actually kind of a lot of fun where we're going to be talking about how the engagement committee is kind of forming and developing ways to engage people attending the conference both virtually and face to face. And so, but before that, I just want to tell you where the steering committee has been. So we have been actively looking for our keynote speakers. I, for example, have reached out to a number of people. I know some other people have reached out, and we're starting to get a group of people that are saying, yeah, hey, this sounds like a great idea. I want to be, I'd really like to be the keynote speaker. And so what we're doing is compiling that list. And then what we'll do is have the steering committee meet again and go through that list. And so again, if anybody out there has any ideas for people they would really love to hear speak, let us know. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Angela, I believe, right? And to kind of to go from there, and then we'll get into what the engagement committee is going to be doing.
I'm going to immediately turn it over to Jess.
Apologies, I had muted myself and then I had 100 windows open. Hi, again, Jess Knott, Michigan State University. I'm the engagement chair this year. My only role today is to introduce you to the engagement committee and then let you hear from one particular representative, Clark Shah-Nelson of the University of Maryland School of Social Work. He is joining us today on the call. The other engagement committee members are David Campman from the University of South Dakota State University, and then Patrice Prusco, who's heading up our Solutions Design Summit this year from Cornell. So Clark, I'm going to mute myself now, and I'd love to hear you share with people what your kind of thoughts are for engagement in the conference, virtually, in person, etc.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Thanks. So I guess I'll start by saying that, currently I'm also working on
there were student issues, and I was
OLC
running a little late.
in November of 2016. And so a lot of the ideas that I'm sort of thinking about and talking about are things that I'm either trying to get started for that conference and or looking forward to being able to hopefully implement at Innovate in April. Is it April, right? Yeah. I guess one of the starter places that we're looking at is if you think about your typical conference experience of like you go, you visit sessions, you interact with some people in the hallways a little bit, you go to maybe the vendor area and interact with the vendors a little bit. Maybe you do some tweeting on the back channels and so on, but largely that kind of summarizes. Often there are other areas that you get engaged with, for example, activities that you go out and do after hours and some more opportunities to sort of network and interact with your fellow participants. But basically, I and some of the others that I'm working with are looking at ways that you can enhance that you can get more engaged. One of the things we're looking at, for example, is something like a scavenger hunt, where you kind of get invited to go beyond the usual sort of confines of what you do at a conference and maybe go outside your area of comfort a little bit by doing some other things. So by having a scavenger hunt, we can, have a list of things that includes, standing on your head in the vendor area or whatever. No, yeah, see, so Angela's going to want to try that. She hasn't probably done that yet. And so, what you can do is make it so that you have like a picture, photographic evidence of doing some things. So it could be an actual picture of you standing on your head, or it could be maybe somebody signs off that you did it, or it could be a screen capture. So the same thing can be done for virtual participants who never actually enter the space by having them take screen captures of, say, posting a tweet or streaming something live or interacting in a Google Doc or taking a screen capture of a slide that you particularly thought was interesting during a presentation. So there are just a whole bunch of ways that I think this scavenger hunt idea could be useful in enhancing the engagement of people. I guess one of the other main things we're looking at is ways that virtual participants can be more engaged than just kind of going into sessions and watching slides and listening to a speaker and then kind of going to the next session. So what are some ways that you can do things in between sessions, or what are some ways that people who are at the conference physically, they get the benefit of seeing people in the hallway and being able to step aside and have a conversation about things. So what are some ways that we can actually bring that same or similar experience to the virtual participants? So we're looking at a number of different ways to hopefully engage virtual participants in these types of activities. And, one of the things might be something like virtually connecting, virtuallyconnecting.org, and things like Slack or HipChat or other types of chat clients that allow you to have different rooms that you can enter and leave at your will. So anyway, these are, for starters, some of the things we're looking at.
So I'm going to unmute myself and say, first and foremost, if I am going to have a headstand that's documented, it's going to be heavily photoshopped. Second, I want to just applaud the work that's going on so far. I'm just so floored by how our group yet again comes together. Many of us met for the first time collaborating on all of this, and turn this around to all of you guys that are watching. This is an open call for you to join us. And in fact, one of our next calls is going to be or one of our next video shoots is going to be a Google Hangout on Air that you can participate in. So we really want you to take to social media, hit us up with the hashtag OLC Innovate, and let us know that you want to be heard, because we want to hear from you. We really want you to participate. This is meant to be open and collaborative, and we cannot do it without you guys. So we will catch you next time. But until then, here's your engagement committee. Woo, woo, woo. Bye, guys.